Good morning and welcome back to another Sunday Model Cars and Coffee video. So this week I want to show you guys a very special model to me. This model is it's one of my favorite builds and it's special because it was my first USAC build. I was the USAC build is kind of one of the driving factors for me starting my YouTube channel so that I could actually be part of the community and participate in that. And I had a lot of fun with this model. So I was able to bring this model. I have a funny story to tell you, but I was able to bring this model to all the way down to Florida for JaxCon, and I was able to put it on the table next to Fred Henry's USAC build for that year. Model Car Videos, Matthew, his USAC build that year. It was a very, very cool experience. And it won a silver medal that year at JaxCon, which was fantastic for me. That was just awesome. The funny story is we flew down to Florida, and I put I'm trying to think of what other model I brought. I don't even remember. That's sad. Anyway, this model and one other one went with me. And I packed them in my backpack, and it was going to be my carry-on. So I strategically put them, I wrapped them in towels, in paper towels, and put them in this case, and I put the lid on it, then taped the lid shut on both of them, packed them in my backpack, packed my, as much of my clothes for the next 4 days into that, around it. I mean, it was pretty much, I thought it was safe. As it turns out, it was safe. But the very first stop, we took a bus from Portsmouth, New Hampshire to Logan in Boston, Massachusetts. And as I'm getting on the bus, I asked Heather, I said, am I going to be able to keep this? I don't want to give this bag up. And she's like, no, it's fine. Just keep it with you. Put it on the floor. And as we're getting on the bus, the attendant asked for the bag. And I'm like, I don't want to, can I take it with me? He's like, no, I got to have the bag. I'm like, okay. So I take it off and I hand it to him, and he softball pitches the backpack into the storage hold of the bus, and it hits the floor and it slides all the way to the end, comes to a crashing halt against the other side of the bus, and then I proceed to watch him throw two more bags like he was aiming for it in the same manner. And I got on the bus and I looked at Heather, and there was some expletives, there was some unkind words, and basically I said, that's it, those things are junk. They're junk. But we got to Logan, got the bag, we went into Logan, I opened it up, and lo and behold, they were perfectly fine. So, and then I was able to keep the bag with me the rest of the time. But I really thought this model, and the other one that went with me, which I cannot remember, that's going to drive me crazy all day. Anyway, they were fine. And then I was able to bring this all the way to, let's see, NNL East, my first NNL East, which I was able to put it on the table next to Brian from BG's Model Workshop, next to his USAC build, which was cool again. And then I was interviewed at that show by somebody that I very much looked up to at the time, but now has become, I consider, a friend, Doug White, which is huge in its own, right? You go from looking up to somebody kind of, like they're a celebrity in your eyes anyway, and then you become friends with them. That's kind of, in a way, I attribute that to this build, because this build is what pushed me to do all this stuff. And that's pretty cool. Anyways, so basically what I'm saying is this is one of my favorite models of all time. and it holds a special place in my heart. So this is my out of control Plymouth GTX, built for my first USAC build. It's Tamiya. Oh, I can't even remember the color. It's like they're green. They're like neon green color with TS13 clear over it. Amazingly, it looks amazing. It's smooth. The paint came out. I think this is my first legitimately nice paint job. There's a little mess up right here. This was in the early days of me wet sanding and polishing, and I went through just a bit. There's like a little raised body line right there, and I went through just at the top of it. So I touched it up with the color, and I touched it up with the clear, and I mean, it looks really good, but you can still, if you look straight down on it, like straight down on it, you can see it. It is what it is. I'm not super worried about it. But anyway, I made my own shackles to raise it so I could clear these big fat tires. We put a Hemi in this. Now this kit had the 440. So this isn't the 70, the yellow on the box 70 Roadrunner. This was the Street Machine version of the GTX. It was blue and silver on the box. I don't have the box anymore. I'd show you guys. But it came with a 440, right? And I was going to put a Hemi in it. Well, I did put a Hemi in it, but all I had was 1/25th scale Hemis. I didn't have a 1/24 scale Hemi, and I wanted it to look right. So it's kind of funny. Mark at Hobby Nut Models actually reached out and was like, dude, I've got a 1/24 scale Hemi. If you would like it, I will send it to you so that the scale and the fit is all right. And that was amazing. He sent me that. So show you the underside real quick before I show you the other stuff. So there's slapper bars. That's the exhaust off the Hemi Dart, I believe. Yeah, that's the exhaust off the Hemi Dart. Those are 1/25th scale headers, also off of the, let's see, those came out of the Charger kit with the Hemi in it, but they fit the bill. They look close enough. From the top, you could barely see them, and from the bottom, they look like they should be there. Wheels and tires came out of the parts box. Yeah, there's that. The interior, I added a fire extinguisher. I added a roll bar. Let's see, aftermarket steering wheel that you can't see. There's a tack in there. You can see it on the top of the dash maybe. With a shift light, we put that in there. We wired that. Pop the hood off. That's that 1/24 scale Hemi with, let's see, that's my own wires. So I used the I use this stuff in yellow to wire my wires. Get in there. I added throttle cable, fuel line going to a distribution block. I wired the battery. A lot of people were saying, you know, the engine bay in this thing is awful detail. You got to cut out certain things. Yeah, it was pretty bad, but I made the best of it. I did get, so what I did with the battery, that's right. So the battery was just this long battery that goes all the way down to the bottom. You guys know what it is. And what I did was I took a styrene saw and I cut a slice in the bottom of it. And then I slid a piece of plastic into the slice to make it look like the battery was sitting on a battery tray, just to kind of break that up. Yeah. Then we added the 70s era decals in the back window, and the out of control on the quarter panels. That was a big thing back in the, ooh, that's loose. Holy cow. Oh yeah, that bumper's loose. All right, so we added the out of control on the rear quarter panels. That was a big thing back in the 70s. Put some slicks on it, and away we go. So there you have it. That is, if I can pick this up, that is my 1970 GTX built for my first USAC build. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate all of you guys. Go check out everything that's linked in the description of the video. Like I say, they'll appreciate it just as much as I will. There's a promo code that's still in there for Iceman Collections. You can still save 10% off your next order. He hasn't told me to take that down yet, so I'm going to keep using it. There's a link to Hobby Nut Models. You click on the link and it brings you right to the website, and you can start shopping right from there. And then, of course, MCV Products, my good friend Matthew. Go check out all the cool stuff he's got. And that's it for this week. Yeah, so I've got a pile of stuff that I want to show you, and some progress, like I said, on the Torino. I have decided I was not very happy with the Torino, the way it was coming out, so I took a hard left-hand turn with it, basically. So you'll be able to see all that in the next video. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll talk to you on the next one.